Welcome to Livechannel Cup and in Härnösand, Sweden, this Sunday morning in October. My name is Andreas Skoglund and I'm going to talk you through this game together with my colleague Andreas Prytz. We have a semi-final between Team Panthera and Team Rilea, both from Sweden. Panthera is from Sundbyberg outside Stockholm and Rilea is from Gothenburg. Andreas Prytz, what can we expect from this game?
I think Panthera is the small favorites in this game. They won the round robin, winning 5 out of 6 games. But Gothenburg is the standing champion here in Härnösand, and only one loss more in the round robin. So I think we can expect a quite tight game, hopefully over 8 or 9 ends.
And the teams are now preparing for the draw to the button to decide who will get the shot rock in this semi-final. We have 3 other games in this arena this morning as well. We have the other semi-final where we have team Annette Norberg Consulting taking on Russia, Demkina on sheet 2. And we have 2 men's semi-finals as well. Norway, Oppdalsbanken and Norway Foss on sheet 3. And finally on sheet 6 we have Sweden, Nermans taking on Russia, Eremin, Russia, as we saw last night here on our YouTube channel.
It's really fast ice this morning, it looks like. It's run through the house.
And that was Team Rilea.
The Sundbyberg team will now make a practice draw before they do the draw to the button. Last rocket advantage in the first end. You can hear the girls talk about it. I think it was a bit faster than it's been earlier this weekend.
Isabella Vrano skip and playing fourth in this Sundbyberg team.
And this Sundbyberg team is still in the run for the Europeans. They are competing against the Swedish spot together with the famous Margareta Sigfridsson and Karlstad's Cissi Östlund team. So far, the other teams have more points, so it's quite unlikely that they will have the chance to win that spot. But I think it's really big for them to be in the national squad, and they get really many tough games this season.
But this is a junior cup and no points will be received for winning this tournament.
No, but I'm sure they will win. They want to win because they were not too happy with ending up losing the semi-final last year.
Okay, and that was the practice shots, and now it's time to see if they will get the hammer.
They probably will. They only have to hit the paint,
get into the house, and the last stone advantage will be the red Panthera team. What would happen if they didn't reach the house here? Is it a redraw for everybody, or?
No, I think it's a toss, but I'm not sure. But they will hit it, so
no problem. Well played by Isabella Vrano. And This means that Team Rilea, playing with the Yellowstones, will start off the first end. And in Team Rilea we have Skip, the skip on the lead position, Greta Aurell.
So these teams know each other really well. Have been two of the strongest junior teams in Sweden for quite a while now. Of course, with some other teams. The one upcoming team is in the other semi-final playing Russia. It's
Team Annette Norberg Consulting.
yeah, and it's Annette's daughter, Therese Westman, who is the skip in that team.
And Greta Aurell playing for Gothenburg. But this is more or less home ice for her, isn't it?
Yeah, she's graduated at the Swedish Curling Academy last year. So she has spent 3 years here in Härnösand. And I threw a lot of rocks on this sheet. So they have the same lineup form like Sigfridsson, that the skip plays the lead stones. It's a bit heavy. So I think we will see the corner guard right from the beginning. Didn't see too happy about that one.
Lead position in Panthera is Fanny Sjöberg.
Yeah, and she has really developed this year. I think she has really good technique now, and I'm expecting her to make a really good performance here today. That will be over the hog line, still a little bit shorter than they planned to, but it's still there to make the game aggressive, the end aggressive.
Few inches over the hog line. And a new chance now for Greta Aurell to put up a center guard, I guess.
Yeah, there is two options. It's to play the center guard or go behind that corner, but I believe they will play the center. Try to get the game to stick around the center line. No, they are trying to get in the house.
Cover it behind the corner guard.
Yeah, don't be too aggressive in the start. Still, there is a pretty good chance for Fanny to hit and roll behind the corner guard, the high one. It's a little bit heavy on this one, so it will probably not curl enough. She gets the hit and sticks around. Not line shot, but still that is a threat for Gothenburg, so they are quite forced to hit that one.
The call is hit and roll.
It's not ideal for Rilea this, because they get the play behind T line and the corner guard, so I think it's quite a good setup for Ron team to score multiple points, maybe deuce here in the first end.
Tilde Wermelin playing second in Team Rilea. And big miss from Tilde Wermelin and the team Rilea.
Yeah, I don't know if something happened. It was not even close, or if they didn't.
Playing second in Panthera is Johanna Höglund.
Yeah, she's born here in Härnösand, but now lives in Gävle, where she studies.
Luckily for Rilea, Panthera missed as well, and now a good chance to hit and roll behind the corner guard again. Long roll.
I don't think they have so much to win on going behind that corner guard, because that will only help Sundbyberg to draw and maybe freeze to that one. So I think they want to stick around open, maybe roll a little bit into the center. But I
Hit and
don't.
stay.
Yeah.
That's a good outcome, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's and it makes Panthera still have this option to draw behind the guard, but it's so high, so they choose to play the hit, and that was the Gothenburg's goal. So.
And we have an empty house, and Team Rilea has a chance now to come around the corner guard, stay in top of the house, and put some pressure on Panthera.
Yeah, their goal is to force Sundbyberg to score one, so they just try to get quite high up in the house, so make the hit as difficult as possible for Sundbyberg.
Camilla Schnabel's first stone was a bit heavy. A new chance for Panthera to come around and start building a house for a deuce. Third position in Panthera is Jenny Volin.
Yeah, really great vice skip. She's very intelligent, and I think she gives perfect support for Brano in the house. They are not trying to stay on the top 8. They want to be the best stone. Sweeping now to get in the line behind the guard. Yeah, she gets half of it behind. And Rilea decides to try to tap it out of the house. Because Rilea's, the lead's first stone was a bit long. The whole end they are under big pressure. They have to make every stone. And Sundbyberg really can afford to miss a few ones.
Spela 20. Jenny, jag har rätt inspel här nu.
5 more stones to play in this
Jag
first
spelar
end,
lite lugnare än 20 till och med.
where
Spelar 30.
Panthera from Sundbyberg has the last stone advantage.
So you're going to play this quite soft. Just to tap it, just to take a piece of it and roll to the wing, to the other wing. I think it's quite normal mistake is to overcurl. And she does the same as Gothenburg just did. Still Sundbyberg's shot drop.
Hela med luft.
So third chance to get rid of that one.
Ja. Spelar den då.
Almeida de Valle playing 4th in Team Rilea. 4 more stones to play.
Yeah, Almeida is a very talented player, like all of the girls here.
Wow. Ja. 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 Ah! Wow, wow, wow.
And there it is.
Bra
Beautiful
spel.
shot.
Keeper Greta.
And it's time for the skip. Isabella Vrano.
Halvträff då. Så nästan vi ska ha is där.
And
70.
what's the call here?
Ja, in
I
hand.
don't know if it's a rule or the double. I think it's the double.
Om inte annat får vi vicka, Jenny.
Yeah, first call is the double.
Halvträff. Det kommer ganska...
Yeah, we saw one of the stones early in the end overcurled a lot on this spot, but that was a soft one. Now that we will for sure see a peel weight.
Ja!
Yeah, it's there. She get and it sticks around as well. Very well played. I think it will be possible for De Val to hit this one.
Greta Aurel looks pretty confident when Almeida de Valle is going to hit and stay.
No, it's wide open, so
Shouldn't be no problem.
no. You just want to stay around to make the clearing difficult for Panthera.
But the call is for sweeping all the way. And a
Oh.
miss. Big
Yeah.
miss from Almeida de Valle.
I don't know what the problem was. That it was.
She
If they
missed-
really talked it through how they're going to play that one. Looks quite soft played, but maybe that was the call. I didn't get that. So it ends up in an easy deuce for Panthera if she makes this last one.
Typ samma som på mina dragningar. Han var lite kort, han var lite kort. Har inte jättemycket tryck i den. Håll i den där, ja!
Bort den! Håll i den!
Kala mycket!
8! 8 är bra, 10 är bra. Jag har inte
Håll i
rygg.
den!
Har inte rygg.
Yeah, it's there all right, and we get a
Ser fint ut. Ingenting.
Panthera to score 2 points right here in the first end.
Bra kontroll,
Great
Erik.
start for Sundbyberg, and we'll have a quick look on the other sheets, but there are no numbers up so far. And they are just finishing off the first ends at the other sheets as well, so we'll come back with the results there when we know something. Well, there is a 1 point for Norway Oppdalsbanken on sheet 3 versus their fellow countrymen, Norway Foss.
We know the Swedish women team scored in the first end, but we don't know how many points.
Okay, a deuce for Panthera means that they will start off the second end. And we have in the hack Fanny Sjöberg.
I'm pretty sure we will have a classic opening coming into the house.
Japp!
Kom borta!
Japp!
Lite lös! Lös nu!
Gå! Hela vägen, gå! Det går jättebra, kör. Fint där, Vanny.
Bra.
Great sweeping from Jenny Wåhlin. Makes that almost a perfect stone. And Greta Aurel will put up a corner guard.
Bra.
Bra fart! Lite minus!
Håll igång den.
Ligger bra. Minus! Håll igång. Ja! Ligger fint. Kom igen, hela vägen. Mellan!
Byt!
Hela vägen ut. Byt. Hela vägen ner. Kom igen. Ligger jättefint. Fortsätt. Bra
Bra koll. Bra Göta. Var ute på den, Kami. Bra koll.
Opening by the school
Var
book.
ute på den.
Nej, tyckte du
Jag
så?
tror vi kan ta mindre race på
Ska jag köra samma? Ja, putten måste du ha, men nu får folk inte lösa det.
You didn't see this kind of opening 10 years ago in curling. There were more center guards and come around the center guard. What has happened in curling?
I think you saw this when you were 2 ahead 10 years ago, but if it was a closer game, you can see a more aggressive game with the corner guards coming up earlier, and that's because the ice conditions and the stones are getting better, and the teams and more consistent, so the teams can rely on and know what will happen with the stones. And the ability to throw the hard runbacks makes teams play up the guards earlier.
Okay, big miss here from Panthera.
Bra fart.
And a good chance now for a double takeout.
Bara rent. Ja. Wow.
The double is there.
Alternativ, bra som tid. Okej, så. Ja, bra skip, Kemi.
So I think one of the big difference, at least when you get to the seniors, is 15 years ago a runback that you made was considered as a bonus, and otherwise you open up, and today you consider if you don't make the runback as a mistake. So I think that makes the strategy more aggressive.
Wow. Sorry. Vänta. Bra där.
Johanna Höglund. I think the call was hit and roll. And Greta Aurel chooses to come around own corner guard instead of hit and roll.
Yeah, she ignored that one. And I think it's the right call. It's easier to get to the spot behind the guard. And can't see the red one as too big risk to lose more points on.
Minus. Gärna vänta.
Tilde Wermelin, second player in team Rilea from Gothenburg.
Ja. 8. 4. Wow, vänta. 4. 10.
Formis!
Bra linje. Bra satt till det.
Vi får vara försiktiga med att sopa dem. 0,5 tror jag.
Still here, Rilea team talks about the speed, that they have to be more careful. It is easier, they have to really believe that and don't oversweep it.
80 lång, genom.
I still don't think it's too bad to come behind T at this moment, so
Behöver dig, behöver dig.
they will still have a chance to
Åt 12,
Wow!
build
genom. Hack genom.
a multiple end.
Hon är sen, kör det. Kör det så. Hårt.
Because if they freeze this one now, they won't. But that will actually help them as long as they make it. It could make it more or less impossible for the Panthera team to take it away. And they don't really have the guts to play the freeze right now. And of course, if you stay very short on this one,
Sari.
Sundbyberg would get the chance to guard it.
Österkala! Helt upp!
I still think
Freeze would
Tilde,
have been better.
yeah, I think Tilde is good enough to play it, and the team
Ta vilken.
could do it.
Ja, den var lite hård.
Bra satt!
Bra så Tilde.
Bra koll tjejer. 30.
Bra skött.
Okay, we are halfway through the second end in the women's semi-final in Livechannel Cup 2015. Team Panthera scored a deuce in the first end,
Japp!
and therefore Sweden and Team Rilea has the last stone advantage.
Wow! Ready?
Third player in Team Rilea, Camilla Schnabel. Play a hit
70.
and roll.
70. Jag råkar 60 på Tilde.
Yeah, and it will be just a tap. They will tap it out of the house. Hack weight.
Bra fart Sari. Rejält Sari.
Or maybe it's bumper weight, and that might have been the call.
Lite plus.
Kiso! Bra fart!
Bra koll.
Bra fart Kami.
Greta, var lite ut på den.
Ja, lite. Gör det nog lite mycket i så.
Really communicating what's happened when they don't make the shots perfect.
Ja!
They really ask, so they
Ja! Gör det!
can learn how to deliver next time.
Kom igen.
And what are the options now for Greta Aurell?
It's the same options, but we are later in the end, so it's getting more important to really make the shots when you do it, when you choose to play the draw. Otherwise, they will face the fact to be forced to score one in this end. But I still like this.
Håll igång!
This is a more aggressive call than to hit and roll.
Yeah, for sure it is. If you hit and roll, you still have the option to blank the end. So maybe this late in the end, that I wouldn't have mind the hit and roll either.
Ja, kom igen, dra ner den nu
But
då!
this is an easier one.
Kom igen, ner topp 8! Kom igen, hela vägen! Bra spel!
Quite on the spot they aimed for.
15,5! Bra koll.
Panthera will see
Det känns som att vi kommer åt den. Spela en 40.
half
Det-
the
det
stone
farten
from
som
the
jag
hack
annars hade.
probably.
Vad sa du?
Den farten Johanna körde på sin var jättebra. Om vi får den halta efter så rycker vi in bakom våran. Behöver inte nödvändigtvis gå jättetajt på garden heller. Jag tror det kommer ganska mycket efter.
Ja.
So they will play this at the split time of
Ja.
3 seconds and 40.
Tänker typ samma som du körde ungefär.
3.40 seconds. So that's quite soft weight, and they will try to, of course, hit it out. And the best of worlds, they just roll behind their own stones. Stone.
Call for sweeping immediately.
Yeah, I
But
think
looks
it's
good.
Yeah, passes the guard. She has the hit. Will roll to the wing.
Tror det var Fanny som var du.
Greta Orwell keeps on playing. This come around the corner guard. And they need to cover it more this time. When Vida de Valde is playing her first stone for the second end.
Yeah, they really want to bury it a little bit more. Because you don't want to face 3 stones, even if they're not right on the button quite early in the game. And
no line.
Ja, allt vad du har till det. Kör. Wow, jag skojar bara. Den ska fortfarande ligga skott. Oj, jävlar.
it's too heavy, and they overthrew it again.
Går mycket mer än vad du trodde. Verkligen. Tyckte inte det känns lite löst.
Big miss from Almida de Val.
Har något att göra så är det ju att dra den. I och för sig kan ju vi också dra.
Yeah, and it was really important to stay shot, because now Isabella get the chance to place the stones where she wants. Just by playing a draw. I think they will play an out and draw.
Hon har i och för sig dragit den alldeles nyss.
De har inte rygg där.
They just need to hide a small piece of it.
Eller så drar vi in här. Då blir det svårt för henne att dra bättre.
I think that's the call. Yeah. Put up the pressure. Can't see a reason why not to.
Halvgöm, det är jättebra. Bara in topp 4. Det blir jobbigt för henne att dra då. Ja.
Well, looking back to the end,
Jag tror det känns jobbigt.
maybe they should have played the hit and roll there in the third position.
Jenny, jag tycker det är helt okej om den är helgömd så kan du dra den precis bak till.
Still, when you don't make the shots, you can choose whatever strategy it takes, but it will be a lot of pressure on Almida de Val on her last stone.
Johanna!
See, it's a new part of the cheat they played, so it will probably stop quicker than the other ones. Yeah, you can really see that it's like.
And this might be a bit helpful anyway for Team Rilea. They have something to aim at.
Yeah, but yeah, okay, in the best of worlds, Isabella Stone would have curled a little bit more, but still, I wouldn't say this is an easy shot, because if you miss it just by an inch on the inside, you will lose 3. And it's very easy to be so afraid of that, so you stay a bit wide and roll off, and they will score 2.
Last stone in the second end. Almida de Val needs to hit and stay. But it looks wide.
Starter calls, it's there.
Looks good.
Lovely played from Almida, no problems.
Score of 1 for Team Rilea from Gothenburg. And there is a 2-1 lead for Sundbyberg and Panthera after 2 played ends.
And in the other semi-final, Russia has taken the lead by scoring 2 in the second end, and is 2-1 there as well.
And there is a 1-point lead for Norway Oppdalsbanken versus Norway Foss on sheet 3. And on sheet 6 we have Sweden Nermans with a 1-point lead over Russia, Eremin. And that is the result right now on the scoreboards. Greta Aurel getting ready to start the third end.
Bra fart! Risk för överkall! Minus! Håll igång! Håll igång linjen! Mellan! Där, kom igen! Upp på linan! Bara sitt! Bara upp på linan! Bara sitt! Mellan! Och ingenting.
First stone in the third end.
Okej.
Greta Aurel and Team Rilea plays center guard. And Team Panthera with the lead 2-1 will come around this center guard, stay on top of the forefoot. So everything goes as planned.
Johanna! Johanna! Wow, dra bite, dra bite, dra bite, dra bite, dra bite. Wow. Bra.
Doesn't come around as planned, bit
Försök
short.
komma ut lite mer i siden så vi slipper göra.
And Greta Aurel will start to work around on the other side. Top forefoot is the call. Bury it behind the center guard.
Plus! Bara fart! Gärna curla!
Bak
Till den
8.
här. Bara fart!
Bak 8.
Bak 8. Kör på slutet istället. Bak 8. Ingenting.
Sackar.
Ingenting.
Bak 8.
Ingenting.
It's a little bit heavy. You don't really want to go all the way down there.
Jag är ledsen, jag har inte så... Kör vi.
And Greta knows that that is not good enough. She excused herself to the team. And Rilea will probably be under a lot of pressure in this end as well. Still, there is center guard up, so there are ways of getting out of there. It's a lot better than playing around the corner like we did in the first end.
Fanny Sjöberg.
Jenny, Kalla måste köra.
Okej.
Var lite lugn.
Känns
Lugn.
Lite lång. Ingenting.
Lugn.
Jag bara med. Nej.
Känner när ni är säkra att den inte är 10. Nej, wow.
Nej.
So what do you say about that outcome?
Yeah, it's a good outcome. It would be better to be a bit shorter because if they freeze it now, it's quite difficult to build a deuce out of it. So they rather had it like in just the beginning of the blue area there, top 4. But still, if Vermelin doesn't make this shot, it will be very costly for Rilea.
Important for Rilea playing with the yellow stones now to make 100% of the shot. No miss is accepted, and there is a miss.
And now they are in big trouble.
Jag var i den lite, men jag tror inte den flyttar sig.
Jag tror inte heller det. Komma lite gömd insida.
Ja. 05.
Precis som inte har dubbeln, halvöppen är bra.
05-10 tror jag.
Johanna Höglund.
Yeah, it's a really good setup for Panthera here. They could run away in this game. Okay, we are only on the second position yet, but it's a perfect setup.
Kalla massor.
Topp 4. Lite
Kalla
längre Fanny,
massor.
bak 4. Kan vara bak 8
Måste
till.
kalla massor.
Och inte sackar.
Måste kalla massor.
Bak 8.
Måste
Oh,
kalla.
it's too heavy, and that's the wrong
Kör. Wow.
margin. should be better to be a bit shorter than T-line. Now you were a bit overthrown, and then it don't get the line.
And a new chance for Rilea to make a freeze.
Yeah, it's a chance. It's a tougher chance than before. And there are ways out of it for Panthera now. Because they can hit their own stones if Tilde makes this one. But
Ja då, kommer nu. Håll igång, ja! 8, ja! Kom igen, hårt! Jättefin linje, hela vägen ner. Kom igen!
that's a pretty good outcome.
Sorry. Bra så.
Should be could have swept it a bit more.
Bra sopat tjejer.
If you had a freeze, it would be better. I think probably they will just freeze the yellow one. To move it in a later later in the end.
Ja, Isabella.
Yeah, right there is the freeze.
Är det 8-12 eller? Vart är den?
And still the margin is to be a bit short now, because if they are just one stone heavy, you will open up a double for Gothenburg, and that's not okay. But you can be actually quite a lot.
Ganska nära! Linje! Hårt Fanny! 12, 8, 8, lite lång! Nej, så bra! Vart är det? Vart har ni den? Vart har ni den? Vart har ni den? 8, 4, lite lång! Åh, bra! 8, aldrig. 4, aldrig. Fan.
Yeah, that was a Swedish curse word from Vrano, and that was just because what we just talked about. You're a little bit too heavy. Looks quite well played, but it's just not good enough. This is a fantastic opportunity for Rilea to get out of this really crappy setup on end. So they could have stopped by the hog line, and they still would probably, in worst scenario, have a draw for 2 in the tricky draw for 2. Of course, you can't play with a margin of being 4 meters short, but you really you can't make these mistakes. And this is normally what is the big difference between the best team in the world and the juniors. It's more of these mistakes.
Needs to get the inside hit here. Looking pretty good. Well
The
played.
double is there. It's fantastic play. And all of a sudden, we have 3 yellow stones in the house.
Bra skippat Greta. Bra. Härligt.
We got 7 more stones to play in this third end.
Yeah, the double is there.
Ska komma upp. Måste spela ganska hårt tror jag.
Ja.
Big weight.
Gå förbi precis. Är bra.
Okej.
And the most important here is to do the double, and the red stone can run out of the house as well.
Yeah, you need to get the double. You don't even to get both of there out of the house. But this is great. Fantastic play from Wåhlin.
He stays in.
Turning this end around once more, and this is really interesting to watch.
Eller ska vi dra?
I mean, even if the Yellowstone is the best one,
Ja, ska vi dra istället?
Sundbyberg is counting stone 2 to 5, and then you understand if there is a small mistake from Gothenburg, they can be punished really bad.
The call is the draw. They choose between a hit and roll or a draw. What do you think about this call?
I think it's for the player wants to throw there.
Minus. Eka!
What you consider is the biggest chance to make the shot?
Alltså, den är typ topp 12. Ja, du måste vänta då. Topp 12.
It's no line.
Wow, snedfrys. Okej så.
Ledsen.
I think they made the best out of it actually.
Helt okej så
It
faktiskt.
was a bit wide.
Bra koll tjejer.
Vad klockan nu?
Alltså 98 typ.
Jag tror det var ganska bra fart.
It's now possible to make a double in this part of the game.
Yeah, might be, but it's a difficult one. There is a few options for Sundbyberg. They can just tap another of the red ones, like Isabelle showed there.
Knacka!
Start to build a new.
Jag tror det är det mognaste att göra. Jag tror det här bara kan bli dåligt.
Ja, men det är bra. Men
Most important now is to start to work for the deuce.
I think it's a really mature call. That you don't, you can look at with other glasses to see a new way of scoring multiple points. And as the house is set up in the front of the house, it's tough for Rilea to find the steal out of any taps or.
Ja!
Yeah, well, they can still tap that yellow one, of course. Now it was a bit short, Jenny's stone. Wasn't ideal for Sundbyberg this.
Greta Aurel calls Wise skip Camilla Schnabel down to discuss their options.
I think they should have. It's easy to say when you sit here, but if they have swept that one a bit more, they could have lined up the red stones in front to the shot rock,
men det är väl ganska mycket plats ändå, eller?
and that would have put Gothenburg in problem. But that's a really difficult way of handling it. But if they had swept it just a little bit more.
Har du vill spela take?
Det borde bli den här huvudstaden, men typ
Did I make sense with
No, not at all.
It's if this stone they tapped in the middle one. If they had swept it a bit more, they would have got a. If you can see in the picture now, they would get a little bit more of a roll to the left, and that would have lined up the two red stones to the yellow one who is shot in the rock. So that would be a big threat for Gothenburg.
Okay, Camilla Schnabel now. No, Almida de Val, sorry. In the hack. We have 4 more stones to play in this third end.
Marginalstyr så! Ja.
men det var
think-
första uppgift.
I think that was.
Så det kommer bli en styrning.
Jag tror också att det kommer bli en skuld. Vad är uppgiften? Trycka ner gul.
So they're going to try to tap it to the blue. And Greta said if they're going to hit it not perfectly, she wants the hit on the outside, and I can't see why that. It would have been better to just hit the nose and get the roll in. At least in my view. They could see it a bit different from the eyes.
Bra fart!
Ja! Wow, wow, wow! Ja, ja! Wow, 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 wow!
Kör!
Ja, bra så!
Bra så!
Sting 2.
Kör den andra istället.
Wasn't exactly as planned, but good enough.
Vad har vi? Vi har en knack.
Yeah, that was the margin that Greta talked about.
Den här. Den är inte så bra.
Jag tycker vi ska försöka ta bort den där, ja.
Okej.
Komma med typ en 20. Då får vi lilla vicken ut på den här säkert också.
Ligger de 1 eller 2 tror jag? 2 tror jag.
Isabella wants to get rid of that yellow one. They just tapped in.
Ja,
Kanske visa en
They
här
will
gång.
play soft peeling.
Vad tror du? Det är mycket?
jag tror sådär.
Ja.
Och sen ifall den kallar över är det inte hela världen om den bara touchar in våran skotte där.
Ja.
För då ligger dubben öppen på nästa.
Ja.
Vad ska vi göra?
Lite mer. Lite mer. Försöker ta bort deras gula där framme. Visst, de kommer fortfarande ligga skotten, men jag kommer göra uppsjö av knackar. Och sen så kommer det ligga jävligt tufft. Man kommer inte våga dra ner någonting för det kan ju finnas dubbel.
3 more stones to play in the third end. Panthera with a 2-1 lead has the last stone advantage.
Want to hit the yellow one out, or the margin is to hit on the inside to open up for the double later. Excellent. Rilea still sitting shot. You can see in the picture, imagine you have lined up the 2 red ones in the front of the house down to the yellow one by just sweeping that a little bit earlier. I mean, that would be a major threat against
Tror att det är enklast att bara dra.
Rilea.
Ja, jag tror också det.
I think it's a wise call they have now. They want to come around on the in
Ligger inte laddat
hand
med
side
där då.
Bak 4 är okej.
to play the clockwise.
The only thing they don't want to do is to put up a double takeout possibility here.
Yeah. And the way to put up that is to overcurl and just roll from the red ones in the house. But
2 more stones to play in the third end. First Almeida de Val, Team Rilea.
it's been a really interesting end. It's been switching. The pressure.
Wow.
Sacka
Ja,
den här
ja, ja, för
lite.
linje! Ja, för linje!
And here comes the overcurl.
Yeah, but I think it's quite soft as well, so I don't think you will set up the double, or maybe.
Fortsätt, 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 fortsätt.
But I think that might be curl enough to tap it. It was a real huge swing there. No, maybe not.
Ja, men...
Inte längre kanske. Jag tror
Yeah.
det kan studsa bortåt.
Might be there.
Well, now actually,
Här, då är den där rakt ner så.
yeah, I think it's
Fast annars har
might
vi
be
den här.
lined up.
Det är ungefär samma spår ni körde.
I think they can hit the red one, and you will get rid of the.
Frågan är om de vill få bort den gula.
If you can stay in
Det känns
picture
som att
now,
vi
if
kan
you hit the
knacka.
red one, you will
Knack
probably
eller-
get
eller
some
den.
support from the center stone.
Jag tycker vi kör knacken.
Okej.
Alltså en etta. En etta är bra.
Ja.
Säg om vi har bra linje på den kanske vi kan dra den med en lång.
Okej.
Jag tycker
Ja, jag
ifall
gillar
vi skulle släppa en etta är det jävligt mycket sämre än om vi tar
Ja,
en
det är
etta.
sant.
Vi ligger ändå öppet.
Ja. In hel vitt med den bara så är det bra.
Jag känner bara ettan.
Vart vill jag gissa?
Yeah, I think they talked
Men
about
ifall
what
det
I
är jävligt
told
tunt
about
på
the
den här,
support from the stone, and they say
ifall
it might be
Oliver
there,
kollar upp, så tänk på att det kan hända
but
saker här.
it's too important to score in this end to stay 2 points ahead. So it's not worth a risk to score 3. But I'm still quite sure it's there if you play the run back.
Jag
At
tycker det är
least
mycket
to
viktigare att ta ett än att
get out of the yellow in the back.
ifall det var extremt bra linje och bra fart så kan vi.
Still, I think it's a very mature way of discuss the strategy from Isabella. To see the scoreboard and to play the scoreboard.
Last stone in the third end. Isabella Vrano.
Bak 4.
Tap back for 1 point.
Vänta. Håll ut. Håll i linjen. Ja.
Ganska lugnt.
Ut. Ja. Ut.
Ja!
Wow. Wow.
Wow!
Ja. Ja.
Mer ja!
Ja.
Wow!
Titta.
Fan!
Ouch.
Too heavy.
Yeah, way too heavy. Not even close to stay. And then we get a steal after all, and
Jag frågar varför vi sopar den bara.
Tied game.
Farten var bra.
2
Ja,
points
det var
to
jävligt
each
tungt
team
faktiskt.
after 3 played ends. But still a last stone advantage for Team Panthera from Sundbyberg. Okay then, quick look at the other sheets. Russia, Demkina leading 2-1 versus Sweden, Annette Norberg Consulting. It's a tied game on sheet 3 where the boys semi-final is played between Norway Oppdalsbanken and Norway Foss. On sheet 6 there is still just one number up on the scoreboard, and that's a score of 1 for Sweden Nermans versus Russia Eremin.
I actually think the Swedes are ahead in the other semi-final, but they haven't put up the score.
Håll igång! Minus! Gärna byt! Ja, kom igen! Hela vägen ner! Jobba, jobba, jobba! Ni har den här!
So, 2-all.
Är den inne? Nej.
That's not in the rings.
Tror inte de kommer runt den här. Spela så. Fart.
So we'll see a corner. And this opening is maybe something who has come just the
Wow!
Känns bra fart!
Försiktigt.
Haken!
Five last
Jenny
years.
måste kalla. Jenny.
double guarded.
Den ligger fortfarande på linan, måste kalla mycket. Dra den så de kan ha den. Dra ut den. Kom in nu. Kör. Bra Fanny.
And Isabella's choice is after value the first front. And she decided or calculated that Greta won't be able to come around fully with this, her second stone.
Bra, minus. Minus! Håll igång! Ligger bra. Gärna kalla. 10. Bra. Topp 4. Ja, kom igen, bara för fart. Ligger bra. Vänta lite. Bara till det.
Oh,
Ja,
wow.
kör.
That is a perfect draw from Greta.
Härligt. Bra spel.
Finally we recognize her and her great speed control. And Sundbyberg chooses to go on the clockwise rotation here.
10.
Linje!
Topp 8. 10. Lite lång.
Linje! Kör! Måste! Fortsätt Jenny! Järnet! Hårt! Egen! Bra.
10.
It can look like a really big mistake, but actually it's not. If they would have played the counterclockwise, it would have been much worse to hit it like this, because they would have raised the yellow stone behind the corner guard in worst scenario. Now there will be options to score 2 for them without taking too much risks, whatever Rilea is playing. So if they have a normal outcome, I think still this is a good setup for Panthera.
Mellan. Ja, håll igång.
But in curling you never know. I was quite convinced that Panthera had a great setup in the end before, but in the end
Vänta gärna med att byta nästa gång.
there was a steal for Rilea.
Det var hon som sa. Va? Det var väl hon som sa att de borde kalla.
20.
Brano showing some patience. They're just going to play hit and roll. So leave the shot stone around. Trusting their big weights later in the end. I don't think she has the line for a roll. It's on the nose. Still quite good. And Rilea plays up a new guard. And this looks like quite a good setup for Rilea, and maybe it is, but I would be very surprised if Panthera won't get a really good chance in getting that shot rock out of the house. They will probably try to get rid of both yellow stones now.
So Isabella Vrano is playing by the school book right now.
Ifall du bara gör dubben på de där två så ligger våran gaddad och den här öppen. Eller? Ja. Vi har ju en fet fin gadd på våran nu i alla fall. Så antingen vi sätter den eller dubbar på den eller vad som helst. Ja. Vi kommer vika även lite gadd för vår egen om vi kör den. Ja. Spela 70. Lite träff här.
Yeah, she called another one than I picked, and I like this one better. She plays the yellow one to the red one, and in the best of worlds they will hit the shot stone out of the house from the beginning. Oh, is it there? No.
Sorry.
A little bit overswept. Good attempt. Try the double run back. Quite close. Would have been a great shot to watch.
And we are halfway through the fourth end in the women's semi-final in Livechannel Cup, game between Sweden Panthera and Sweden Rilea. It's a tight game, and Panthera has the last stone advantage in this end, but Rilea has the shot rock for the moment.
And Camilla is playing up another guard. She's a bit closer to the house, maybe a little bit too close, so I think still it's quite okay line. I have to see the overview before I can see what would be a good option for Panthera here. It's tough to make any creative thing with one shot.
Spela en sarg och så försöker vi på den här. Ja. Om inte annat så kan vi få jättetunn här, få träff där och få in den där dit.
So no big weight. They're playing
Board weight.
Yeah. They play the clockwise.
Wants to get rid of the shot rock in the best of worlds.
Okay.
Japp. Oh.
Starts to moves, close to... Oh! Yeah, that was one of the options. Will it stick around? Yeah, it will. Well played from Jenny as well. Small sweeping mistakes.
Okay.
And it's quite buried there now. And Camilla will play another guard.
Håll igång! Mellan! Bra. Almida nu! Mellan! Mellan minus. Nej. Håll igång! Håll igång! Ja, ja, ja! Ja! Wow, wow, wow! Perfekt! Bra spel! Bra koll! Bra koll.
Looking
Bra
pretty
koll,
good
Magdalena.
for Rilea playing the yellow stones now. 5 more stones to play in the fourth end. And what options does Isabella Vrano and Panthera have now, Andreas Brytz?
Spela den här.
I'm not quite sure actually. I have to see the angles.
Lite mer än halvträff.
They have to clear things up.
Yeah, I think you want to get rid of at least 2 of the guards. Should actually get 3 yellow ones, including the shot rock if you have the perfect hit on this one. But he will be really happy if you can just move 2 away. Get 1. Oh, it's close, but that's really not a good result.
1.
Now it's really buried there, and maybe it's time for Rilea to put in another one.
Ska vi dra in en till?
Utifrån.
Va?
Could even
From
put it
vilken
in the
håll?
back of the house to
Här?
not risk anything.
Eller här?
Yeah, that's what she showed now you were thinking of. I think that's quite good. You can, by staying second shot behind T-line, you can still making the run back so
Ja.
very costly for Panthera. Risky, maybe that's a better word.
Ska vi gå så då? Den ligger ju högre.
Now they have a run back for 3, but if they get in another one, not leaving any double anywhere, they will put the pressure on Isabella. And that will be interesting to see how she's going to handle that.
Var då topp 4?
Ja.
4 more stones to play. Almida Deval in the hack,
Marginal ner på 10.
preparing,
Ja.
coming around the corner guard, laying 2 when this stone has stopped.
Håll igång där ute. Wow. 10. Plus.
Bak 4.
Måste ner på 10.
10.
Wow, vänta.
Bak 4. Ha farten. Bak 8 nästan.
Yeah, it's behind T-line. I think it's just
Pretty
great
good
played.
option.
Yeah,
Bra så. 13,5.
I still think she's going to play the run back. Then it will at least open up
Nu är det
for
den
the
som gäller.
draw.
Precis. Spela den här.
Yeah.
Vart är träffen ungefär på den? Är det typ lite utsida?
Typ halv.
Okej.
Tjock halv.
Isabella Vrano playing her first stone in the fourth end.
Tjock halv.
3 more stones to go.
And she is really good on throwing these run backs. But of course it's a very tough one.
Ja!
Håll i! Håll i!
Ja!
Ja! Ja!
Wow!
Ja!
Wow!
Oh, whoa.
Ut!
That's really well played.
Well played, but still they are lying 2 yellow counters in the house.
Yeah, but the side is open. Still there is chance for Rilea to put up this stone, and it's really well thrown. It's really close.
Almeida de Val needs to do a good stone.
Yeah, she can put a really tough pressure by making this one. If she miss it totally, of course, that will be a double opportunity for Panthera, but then she has to make a real big mistake. So
she needs to stay in the house. They want to have 3 counters when this stone stops.
it's in the guard.
Big miss from Almeida de Val, and
I think the double will be open. Maybe not to stay around for 3, but for 2, for sure, of course.
Träffen är väl typ... Alltså det minsta
Ja,
lilla
det
sådär
might
kvar
be.
tror jag drar du väl? Alltså
Ja.
bara vi kommer här.
Yeah, you can score 3.
Eller där.
Ligger våran i framkanten inne? Ja.
Det viktigaste är att vi kommer
big
behöva
miss
få ner
from
den där
Team
bakom.
Rilea,
För annars blir det bara en etta.
Exakt.
and suddenly
Tror jag. Så bara för bort.
Isabella Vrano and Panthera has a great chance to score 3.
Yeah, it's the third end. I think Panthera owned.
Ja, jag hade inte tokord på den va?
They had the pressure all the way, and then it turned around to steal. And now
Lite mer.
Rilea has owned this end, but in the end there is a quite good scoring opportunity for Vrano. And she just threw the weight here, so this is not as
Japp!
hard as the other one.
Japp! Oh!
At least 1 point now, probably 2. No,
just
only 1.
Okay, fair result after 4 ends. It's a 3-2 point lead for Sweden Panthera versus Sweden Rilea.
Ta den där tidigare nästan.
We'll get a short halftime break here and get back to you in a few minutes.
Yeah, looking forward.
Nej, förlåt. Riktigt jävla dåligt.
Okay, everybody, we are back for the fifth end in the semifinal between the women's team, Sweden Panthera and Sweden Rilea.
Våra motståndare.
And Rilea hasn't shown up yet on the ice, so we can have a quick look on the other sheets. We see on sheet 6 the men's semifinal. It's a tight game after 3 played ends. Sweden Nerman and Russia Ermin. 2 points to each team.
Vad sa du?
On sheet 3 we have Norway, Oppdalsbanken and Norway Foss. 2-1 lead for Oppdalsbanken after 3 played ends. They have played the 4th end as well, but no numbers up on the scoreboard yet. Finally, the other women's semifinal, Russia Demkina playing Sweden Annette Norberg Consulting. Demkina leads 4 points to 2 after 4 played ends.
Really interesting. Looking back to this future game, first end, Panthera scored in quite easy deuce by an early mistake from Greta Aurell by being a bit hard. Rilea scored 1 and then made a steal out of nowhere in the third end, and then Panthera scored a single point in the 4th end after being in some serious trouble earlier on. So it's a 1 point up against the standing champions from Rilea.
Johanna, dra in den. Ja. Kör. Jag släpper. Right out.
Okay.
Just in the house with that one.
I don't know if they're going to play the corner or if they can choose to just play the hit and still stay out of the rings.
Greta Aurell playing lead and skip.
Plus. Jag gav ganska mycket. Plus. Ligger bra, bara fart. Nära. Risk. Risk in. Bara sitta. Tackar. Wow, riktigt.
Well played.
Nej.
Bra så. Snyggt.
Yeah, really close to the house.
Jag tror faktiskt att vi ska...
So
Bara
Panthera.
10 fart, Fanny. Det är okej om du bara knackar den hit.
Ungefär samma fart. Kan man tänka.
Will play the race.
Bara med putten.
Tap the own stone in the house. Then they will stay in the free guard zone, not allowing Rilea to hit the guard.
Känns lite lång. Bak 12.
So it's a good chance for Fanny to repair her mistake in the first stone.
Ja, med japp. Wow. Med japp.
Bättre fart.
Wow.
Okej.
Looking quite good. No, a little bit too heavy.
Som sagt, det är mycket bättre att vara kort på de där. Det är okej att bara knacka en sån här bit. Meningen är att vi vill få en bakom skott eller bakom gard.
And Isabella Vrano is educating her fellow teammates.
Lite till. Där.
Yeah, she's right about what she says. So
Why not?
I think Fanny knows this as well. Sometimes the tough thing is to know the margins and really play on them. So
Ligger bra.
I think the team is quite good on this, but you can always improve.
8. Där, kom igen. Jobba hela vägen. Tryck förbi. Jobba. Fortsätt. Jag är ledsen, mitt fel.
It's the same discussion as the world teams have.
Ja, jättebra. Ja, det var.
Maybe you don't always have them on the ice.
We talk about it all the time.
Yeah.
Johanna Höglund, second player in Team Rilea.
Japp. sätt den.
Cut a bit too much, that one as well.
Jag ser inte riktigt hela. Nej.
It's a bit of thinking. Sorry.
Tilde Wermelin getting ready. And Greta Aurell wants to remove.
Tappen. Vad sa du? Tappen. Hack. Okej.
Hack, wait, hit and stay, I think the call was.
Yeah.
Is that a good call?
Yeah. I think a goal is to score at least 2 points in this end when you have this many guards. It's not easy to say what is the best way. Maybe I would play it a bit softer. I'm not sure. There are... The problem with the freeze is that it would have been behind the tee line as well, so that's not so good, because then the other one can just tap freeze as well, like Panthera is trying to do now. I think it's too heavy. Still, it's not the right margin. They should have. Should have been a bit short on this one as well.
Okej. Bakhåll. Genom.
Måste kalla. Nej! Det är jätteviktigt att den här är marginalkort, Johanna. Det är jätteviktigt att ni påminner varandra om att den där är så viktig att den är marginalkort. Vi kan sätta världens press på dem, men nu sätter de press på oss.
It's exactly what Isabella is telling the team. We have to talk about this so we have the right margins. It's I mean, it's game deciding shots, and I think the way to really realize it is to talk about it. When you do it or not, but I think too many. If you don't understand how important they are, you might not just be there to make it 100%.
Pick up something, and
it was a pick, and that will save.
Jag tycker riktigt, antingen så gör vi den. Spela den.
Playing the guard, that will leave some options for
Nära.
Rilea. They of course have the run back on the semi-corner.
we are halfway through the fifth end. 8 more stones to play.
Linje.
Panthera playing the red stones.
Bra linje.
Team Rilea from Gothenburg playing the yellow stones, and
Helst
they
ingen
have
ranka nu.
the last stone advantage.
Taket. Vänta på den. Kör då.
Hårt! Ni satte mig nära!
Hårt!
Skrik gärna när den sackar.
There is support. Come through with the takeout weight.
Ja. Ja. Precis.
Spela normala.
Even if I agree with Isabella on the margins she talks about with the teams, you always have to find a balance when to talk about it. You can't discuss every stone, and because that will give negative energy on the ice. But it's really important to take the time between the games so that everyone really understands this. Then when they do, there's a second thing is to really get it back on the ice again. Nice dance there from Almeida.
The second yellow rock in the house.
Yeah, what I was saying, I don't think there is one way of handling this. You just have to talk about how and decide with your own
Jag tycker
team.
det är frågan om
This
vi
is
ska
the
dra
right
hit
way
nu.
for us to handle it. Because
Eller
we
ska vi
are
lägga
all
där?
different as individuals. So.
För grejen är att de här två finns ju här. Om vi drar hit, då har de ingen slagning så heller.
Okej.
Ja. Kör den här, fast i marginal att stanna där.
Om linjen är
Kör
dålig.
samma fart.
Precis. Om linjen är dålig, då måste vi släppa. Så blir det.
Ja. Kör samma.
Jenny Wåhlin wants to get down on the 8-foot, top of the 8-foot.
Linje.
Hake!
Johannes.
Mellan! Vänta på den! Okej.
Johanna,
Hake!
Johanna, var är den? Var är den? Wow.
Short.
Måste kalla.
Mellan! Hake! Måste kalla en bit.
Bara sitt, bara sitt.
Okej, inte kalla.
Bara sitt. Men japp.
Kalla nu mycket.
Japp!
Okej.
Japp!
This is the right margin.
Bra koll tjejer.
Bra där.
Well covered shot rock right now for Sweden Panthera.
20.
And Greta Aurel
Var är träffen?
needs to clear things up in front of the house. Five more stones to play in the fifth end. Is she going for the double takeout?
I would guess 2 guards, 2 fronts away to open up some more possibilities for later round backs. But
Egen!
no, it was a double she was aiming for. That will probably
Ja, lugnt. Det var nära.
make a
Håll den kanske.
bigger mess in front. Yeah.
Den är ju helgardad.
Vad sa du?
Vi kan ju försöka dra, om den har bra linje kan vi
As
dra
the
ner ut.
situation is now, there is
Då
2
blir det
options
bättre.
to make the run
Här är
backs
också
for
kul.
Ja.
In här är jättebra.
Rilea.
Om de inte har någon linje alls.
Can't see a point to take one of them away
Det
because
blir mycket tillbaka.
uh,
Ja, alltså jag tror aldrig de kommer gå på... Så länge vi har någon här, alltså de kommer ju aldrig gå på slagningen på den här tror jag. Den sitter ju alla dagar.
Ja, det gör den faktiskt.
Alltså visst, de kanske kan gå på knacken. Men
Där, ja,
fast grejen är att det viktiga är om den inte har någon linje,
Ja,
då är det viktigt att du, alltså, att
Inte
du får
lämna
en,
dubbel.
alltså inte får en dubbel ja.
precis.
Men jag tycker vi kör på den här.
Ja.
Här tycker jag är jättebra.
Ja.
Men den måste precis,
Men vi ser
alltså,
till att få linjen så blir det bra.
alltså den måste komma nästan helgömd.
Ja, exakt. Helen.
Men
Bättre
var
än deras
noga med
också.
att den kan gå förbi en sån här bit från
Ja,
garden Jenny. Den
ja
kommer
verkligen,
komma.
verkligen.
Det kommer ganska mycket
Den
här.
måste nästan det. Ja,
Hopp 8 är jävligt bra också.
okej. Eller,
really taking the time to discuss where to put this
Lite mer.
ideally.
jag tror också det.
I think they're well aware of how important this
Om vi
shot
får
can
ner
be
den ganska bra här, då
and
ligger
how
det jävligt
costly
bra så att inte det är där bak.
can
Då
be
måste
if
vi
you
gå för att garden räcker ju.
don't make
Ja, det är
it.
bra.
We saw that in the last end
Vi måste,
for
nu måste
Sweden
skriva
Rilea
mycket fart
when
på
they
den.
did a big miss on their last stone. Almost cost them 3 points. We got 4 more stones to play in this fifth end.
Håll i linjen! 12!
Japp.
Linjen! Linjen då! Och 4! Kolla! Bara kolla!
Kalla massor.
Johanna om någonting. Måste kolla mass. Bort igen. 8, 4. Går du att dra bak den?
Nej, bara
Måste
stanna,
göra
bara
det.
stanna, bara
Måste
stanna,
göra det.
bara
Wide.
stanna, bara
Kör!
stanna.
Kör!
Nej!
Topp 4.
They didn't cooperate too good on that zone. The vice skip wanted one thing and the skip wanted
Ja,
another.
vi drar ner en lite till så de får jättelätt dubbel.
Well, there's two ways of leaving a double.
Jag tror att det är bättre där i alla fall än att den ligger jämn.
Ja.
I think she was a bit wide in the release. It looks like she had some force to the side of the jeet. It's not easy to say that for sure when you just look on a TV screen, but
Vi har ju dubbel med risken för att göra möjlighet för så.
Well, they got to try for the double, don't they? Are there any other options?
Då är vi av rull garanterat. Frågan är om vi bara ska gå in och knacka bak den här.
yeah, there are options. You can still make the rule to make a freeze to set up for a difficult last shot for multiple points.
Och då kommer vi få spela
Then
den
you
oavsett.
will play a run back in some way.
Vad menar du att vi ska göra istället?
The slash double should be there
Eller om man kan...
to hit on the outside.
Vi har ju till och med den
Ja, mer luft.
marginalen.
Ja. Nej, precis inte. Mm.
No, I think they're trying to just tap the shot rock.
Jag vet inte vad man ska
I don't know if the slash double is there.
Känns bättre än gå på
It
dubbel.
might
Ja, men frågan är vad vi ska spela för fart. Tack.
stay on the back yellow. It will hit it for sure, but
Ja.
Bak 4.
Nej, hårdare
This
där.
is their chance to remove the shot rock in the forefoot, isn't
Men det
it?
är ganska långt.
you still have the run back from
Vi har ju den också.
Ja, men den är inte så himla kul också.
on
Då kan den bara igen.
the
I och för sig ligger
left
det.
side.
Men spela hack då. Hack är nog bra.
Ja.
Hack!
But
Back.
that's for the last stone. They want to keep that option. They're playing the hack weight. I don't know how much it will. The curl will come, but I think even if they hit the second shot and roll in, I don't think that's too bad because they will probably have at least a chance to score many points. Didn't look totally timed that
Wow!
Sari!
Wow!
Slide.
måste kalla.
Normally she looks so
Wow, helt upp.
well balanced, but I think she.
Ja, ja.
Ow.
Ja.
Oh, is she shot rock?
Ja.
That was one way of doing that. I didn't see that before.
Alltså,
Isabella
ganska säker.
is quite sure it's a red one. Oh,
Jag är
don't
fan
look.
inte jättesäker.
Ja, men Jenny, det spelar ändå ingen roll. Vi ska göra samma uppgifter i alla fall.
Ja. Eftersom vi gardar så... Där. Jag tror att de vill, fast jag vet inte. Det kan ju vara att de vill garda för att de ska vara...
Okay, they are playing the guard.
Men
Yeah, and then they will have the run back for many points. But you don't think they're gonna go in the house?
jag vet inte vem som är skotten.
No,
I would do that. Try just to put it in the
Indres.
pocket between them, the freeze. That's the only way to don't leave an option for Rilea. And if they play the freeze, they can only score one, and that will be a measure.
Okej. Nära.
Vänta då.
Hake.
Um,
Nära. Nära är bra. Hake. Sacke nu hake.
Need the line.
Hake.
It's the most important.
Wow,
But I think they should try to freeze it. I can't see why they should stay in front.
Nej, bara sitt. Bara sitt. Wow!
Bara sitt.
So you will have a run back. Or is there even a chance to come around and tap it? Yeah,
just for a deuce in that case.
yeah, or maybe you can get it in the. Oh, I'm quite surprised that they play the guard there. I have to say.
And still Greta isn't even looking at the run back so far.
Där kan vi inte gå runt med bak 4 typ och bara peta lite på deras röda.
Ja, jag tror det.
Um,
Bak 8.
I think the reason is that
Ja,
they
bak
think the
8.
tap is easier.
Måste peta den hela vägen hit i alla fall.
Gardarna ligger långt upp. Ganska långt.
Bak 12.
Bak 12.
Back 12 is the call. Come
then-
around and tap back the red one.
Kalla det så lite.
Alltså vi måste träffa relativt mycket av stenen, annars kommer vi bara knacka in
Ja.
en shot.
Var med på farten då. Eller på linjen.
Last stone in the fifth end. Almeida de Val for Team Rilea. Shot for picking up a deuce.
Runback would have been for 4 stones. So it's
Ja!
Linus!
Ja! Ja!
Tryck
Wow,
tjejer!
wow, wow, wow! Wow!
yeah, might be there.
Kan du ha det?
I think
Kan
it's
du ha det?
there.
Kom
Can
igen,
she
hela
find the
vägen.
hole?
Kör, 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 kör!
Oh, it's only one.
En gul.
It's a very good attempt,
skjut
but it's
nära.
only one yellow.
Bra spel.
Well played, and we have a tied game after 5 played ends. 3 points to Sweden Panthera and 3 points to Sweden at Rilea.
Panthera with a hammer is in the driving seat, of course, in the 6th end.
We are playing an 8 end game here, so it's 3 ends more to play. Quick look at the other sheets. On sheet 6, Sweden Nermans playing Russia Eremin. It's a tied game. 2 points to each team after 3 ends. And we have on sheet 3, Norway Oppdalsbanken playing Norway Foss. Oppdalsbanken has 4 points and Norway Foss has 3 points, playing in the 6th end. Finally, sheet 2. It's a tied game between Russia Demkina and Sweden Annette Norberg Consulting. 4 points to each team, and Demkina has the hammer in the 6th end.
Ja, kom
It's
igen. Kom igen.
3 more stones to play.
Upp på
Back
linan.
house,
Tryck, 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 tryck. Allt vad ni har. Upp på linan. Sista biten.
and just right now,
Bra koll.
Annette Norberg Consulting with the hammer out in the 12-foot area. Okay.
Vi gör så eller så.
Back to our featured game here on sheet 5, the semi-final between Sweden Panthera and Sweden Rilea in Livechannel Cup. This is a copy of the last year's semi-final. Then Team Rilea won, and later on also defeated a Scottish team in the final.
Kalla.
Claimed the title in the Livechannel Cup.
Johanna! Har wow, wow, wow. Har ingen linje alls. Bara stanna, bara stanna. Har ingen linje alls. Men jag drar den. Japp! Det är bra.
6th end, and Sweden Panthera has the last stone advantage.
Bra.
Håll igång lite linje.
Minus.
Minus. Ja, linje.
Kolla upp, kolla upp.
So well played.
Bra Greta.
Greta's improved during the game.
Knacka bak den. Bakhantfart.
It's a bit heavy on a few
Jag vill bara
ones
se
in the
en
first 2 ends,
bakhantfart
but
när fan är
then
hårdare än
she's
det. Den ska stanna i
she's
boten.
playing really well.
Ja.
Ungefär samma.
Fanny had a quite high performance all the way. Didn't really get the call here. Is it a freeze? Probably.
Wow. Ja!
Ja.
Hårt!
close to the guard.
Whoa, whoa.
Oh, it's through.
Yup!
Taps it. Oh, that's really good result.
Snyggt Fanny.
Bra Fanny.
Very well played from Sjöberg. She's gotta be happy about that one. Of course, ideal for Panthera to score 2 or more in this end.
Tid.
Ja.
And they will play quite aggressive. I think Greta wouldn't mind a blank, or of course ideal to steal one, but a blank for them is a good option. But I don't think Panthera will allow that.
Plus.
Bra fart.
Minus. Se.
Minus. Bra fart. Bra.
Håll igång linjen.
4.
Ja. Ja. 8. Kör! 8. Wow. Wow. 4.
Det är förbi.
Nedflykten. Wow. Ingen död.
And in the other semi-final is
Four
close. Russia is up 5-4 after 6 ends.
Bra spel.
Bra till det. Andra där.
Jag vet inte, vad tycker ni?
Knack. Kanske vilken? Jag vet inte.
Antingen den här,
Ja, jag tänkte den.
eller ta bort garden.
Ah.
Vi kan spela på den här en gång va?
Ja, kör den. Insidan. Eller viktig va?
Johanna Hägglund
Ja. 20.
is going to hit and
Det är
roll.
okej att få mycket. Johanna, det är okej att få så här. Det är okej.
I don't know what Bella did there. She did some kind of dance. I think that was just try to make the team relax. Maybe she thought it was too serious with a lot of
20. Ingenting.
talk in the end before, so she tried just to.
Loosen things up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okej, det där.
A bit wide, but it's totally okay.
Det är bra det där Johanna.
Nu spelar dubbeln.
Va?
I think it's a good setup
Okay.
for Panthera
Normal.
in this end as well.
Yes.
Kvartsträff.
Even if they makes the double here.
Yeah,
Andra sidan.
still have a chance to
Normal.
create pressure behind the guard.
Normal. Ja.
And the yellow one is behind T-line.
Ja! Linus! Ja!
Kom igen tjejer.
Wow, wow, wow. Wow.
The double is there.
Bra spel.
Well played from Tilde.
Bra till det.
You will
Bra,
probably
bra
see
Greta.
Bra koll.
come
Bra
around
koll Greta.
with clockwise. No. She hits the center away.
Ta bort.
And why is that the call?
Japp! Wow.
I'm not quite sure. Maybe she thought the guard,
Nära.
the front, was the threat for a steal. So I analyzed that she would go quite for the deuce here in the sixth, and still thinking 1 point would have been quite good. Was wrong.
Linus! Bäst!
Camilla Schnabel, we are halfway through the sixth end.
Vänta om det går.
Mellan. Mellan. Kommer nu.
Ja,
Kör.
ja,
Wants to have a
ja.
center
Upp på
guard.
linjen, kom igen. Hård!
Yeah, they don't mind to guard the line to the stone
Ras upp.
Stone in the
as they
house.
actually put it there, so that's a mistake. But now it will be interesting.
Topp 4.
Yeah,
05.
now she can't see that as a threat, so she will start.
To come around and hide it, and also have the yellow stone in the house as a backing stone. Jenny Bolin.
Helt upp då, helt upp.
Fia!
Bara
Wow!
fart, bara fart.
Fart!
4.
Aj,
Bara fart.
wow! Chilla Fanny,
Bara
chilla.
fart.
Måste kalla.
Bak 4.
Wow.
Nej, 4. Typ 4.
Bak 4, ska in helt. Halv 4. Wow, Fanny, wow. Snyggt.
Well played.
Yeah, really well played. I don't know if it's possible to get on the inside. I think it will be difficult anyway.
Nej, precis. Precis.
Maybe with a small tap, but
Ja.
they're playing hack weight.
Hack 80.
She has to be quite close to the guard.
Ja!
Bra fart.
Ja!
Bra fart.
Ja!
Oh, this will be inner guard.
Jättefin fart.
Oh, it sticks on the wing.
Helt okej så.
It's not so easy to create where to put this
Den där också.
to put a second shot in the house.
Ska den in eller ska den? Nära.
And that's why she decides to play the
Är det
guard.
nära?
I think that's the right call.
Nära, alltså, sorry. Okej, så linjen är viktigast. Jag kör ganska mycket länsare för det där.
Låt den kalla.
Hake. Håll i lite.
Låt den kalla.
Mellan.
Fanny.
Vänta, kolla. Mellan. Kolla.
Mellan.
Kolla mycket.
Med Fanny.
Needs to curl.
Dra den långt.
Hårt!
Hårt. Hårt.
Järnet! Kör! Jobba! Hårt!
Bromsa uppåt.
Helvete.
Not too happy with that outcome. Is it open? Wide open?
Yeah, it should be. It's too short and it's covered the wrong side. If it should been better if it showed the other side, because then she could get some help from the yellow in
In the
back,
back,
of the tee.
Jag
So
spelar sarg.
4 more stones to play in this 6th end. And board Wade is the call. Come around the guard and get rid of the red shot rock.
Ja!
Sarg, sarg.
Ja!
Wow.
Ja.
Wow, 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 wow!
Helt upp, helt upp, helt upp. Kan vi köra rädd, kan vi köra rädd? Kan vi köra rädd? Ja, min miss, sorry.
It does the
Really
job. They wanted it to curl up a bit more to stay in the
Bra
house,
koll, Almeida. Bra koll.
but this is a decent outcome. 3 more stones to play. Panthera playing the red stones have the last stone advantage.
Sorry.
still looking for 2 points
Ja.
by playing the come around in the clockwise
05.
turn.
Bak 4-10.
Håll i linjen lite.
10.
Bra linje.
Vart är den? 10.
Bra
4.
linje.
Håll i linjen.
Måste skottet. Wow,
Oh.
chilla.
Nej. Känns lång.
Måste skottet.
Bak 4.
Oh, it's heavy.
Känns lång. Wow. Inget.
And that's behind T. A little bit overswept.
And what should be the call?
Hack.
Hack weight coming around the guard, and
Den gula är inte vägen.
I would really like to
Den gula
freeze
inte
and just
vägen.
tap it an
Nej,
inch.
vi tappar. Okej, tack så.
And that would be a perfect setup for a
Vår
steal.
förra färg.
Of course, it's a tough stone to throw, but
so is
it
this
could really turn the game around. It's a really important end to score in. So by playing this shot, they kind of relying or hoping for Panthera to miss their shots.
Hack. Bra fart. Wow.
Unless if they can get it on the inside. I don't know if that's possible. But
Wow.
No, it's no line so far.
Wow.
Needs to
Yeah.
curl.
Wow. Ingenting.
Looking good.
it's quite nosed it quite well.
Härligt. Bra spel.
Bra spelat. Bra koll, Greta.
As good as it could be
Ja, jag vet.
with
Bra koll,
that
Fredrik.
call. And
Samma fart som
now a chance for Isabella
Ja,
Vrano
det är här
to
nyss.
hit and stay.
Ja, men de har alldeles för mycket för mig.
Hade du på den?
Ja, jo. Men det, jag menar dig, alltså du hade.
Lite mindre.
As
Vet
long
du
as
bakkant?
she hit the yellow stone on the nose, she will get a point.
Yeah, and of course she plays against 3, and that's always a pressure. You knowing if you miss it, you lose the game. And of course that will affect most curlers.
Last stone, sixth end. Isabella Vrano for 1 point.
Bak 8. Genom.
Ja.
Vänta.
Linje. Wow.
Nej!
She will get the
Needs
hit.
to start to curl. I think it starts to move now. It's a bit heavier than they aimed for, but it's there, and it will stay, and it will score 1 point, and Panthera will be 1 ahead with 2 ends to go, and
Bra
I
skrivet.
think
Härligt. Viktigt. Bra koll.
Which team is in the driving seat right now?
Panthera for sure. They will be really aggressive now and try to force Rilea to score 1 point, so they will be able to come home with the hammer in the last end. Even if Rilea scores 2, they can be in a quite good position to win the game. I'm quite sure that Panthera don't want the blank, so we will see at least 1 center guard from them.
And a quick look at the other sheets. There are few numbers up on sheet 6, where Russia Eremin is playing Sweden Nermans. They are playing in the 5th end, but there are only numbers up for the 3 first ends, and it's a tight game according to the board.
Ja, lite låst.
If we have a look at sheet 3, we see that Norway Oppdalsbanken has a pretty big lead versus Norway Foss. It's a 5 to 3 point lead after 6 ends playing in the 7th end there. And finally, in the other women's semifinal, Russia Demkina playing Sweden Annette Norberg Consulting, where Demkina has a 5 to 4 point lead. But things looks pretty good when there are 4 more stones to play for Annette Norberg Consulting, having 3 or 4 counter stones in the house right now. Back to our featured game here, Greta Aurell.
Gärna curla. Bra. Vänta om det går.
10.
Topp 4, 10. 8. Vänta om det
Gärna
går.
curla. Bara till er. Kommer nu. Ja, 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 ja. Bra där. Kan hålla.
Vi spelar 20. Ta det lugnt bara.
Yeah, the front was there from Panthera, as we guessed. Greta made a shot in the house.
Vänta.
Bra fart 30!
Vänta.
Okej. Känns som att den kommer snart.
Kommer snart. Ja! Wow. Ja! Hårt, ingen vik. Sorry. Jättefint spelat, Fanny.
She done a great game. It's be interesting to see how hard Rilea will go for the blank, because I think they really wouldn't mind that. Then be very aggressive in the 8th end. Get a chance to steal in an extra end if they don't manage to score 2 or more.
Jobba! Fortsätt! Egen!
Great tick.
Kan ju dock
Ja.
varit en av mina främsta tickar.
Alltså, bra försök.
Well, actually, that won't make the blank less likely.
Nära.
So
Okej,
I think she's quite happy with that result.
15. Ja.
Greta said that was one of my best
Ticks.
Wow.
Yeah.
35 längre!
splits ever.
Hugg!
Johanna Höglund coming up short on this one.
Mellan.
Bara över.
The sweepers are doing a great job. They're
Ja.
trying to find the line to cover
Kom igen!
their shot stone in the house.
Först tänkte jag, vi behöver den på den sidan som vi kan slå. Sen tänkte jag, fan det är ju Tilde som kör nu vänsterhänt.
Ja.
Det är bra. Har du halva?
Ja, med en halva.
Spela sarg.
Ja.
Tilde Wermelin, left-handed curling player. Does that matter in the choice of tactics for either team?
Can maybe for
Bra fart!
Snyggt släpp.
when you pick a few tasks,
Måste kalla.
but not for a strategy. Maybe for
Kommer nu.
a single
Ingenting.
shot or two. But that not just because they are left or
Ja, lite
right-handed. It
långt.
depends
Jättebra satt.
on the technique in generally.
Det är viktigt att du får
General
ut den här,
performance,
så ligger
yes.
kvar med den. Men spela en 30.
Ja. 30.
Johanna Höglund, second player in Team Panthera.
Ja!
Allt du har!
Hela vägen!
Hårt!
Hårt! Hårt! Jobba Fanny! Hårt!
Well swept, but not good enough.
Now we will see how tough they will go for the blank, because now they have the opportunity to
Jämn höjd.
to hit the guard,
Ja.
and that would be a quite easy blank. But they rather go for to try to score 2 in this end.
So they want to come down in the house. Keep the house separated. Making no chance for a double takeout for Panthera.
Bra fart!
Yeah, don't trying to go behind the guard either.
8, 12, 8, ha farten, ha farten.
Det är lång.
Bak 8. Sorry, full beröm av oss. Bra satt till
Bra spel till er.
Bra
Not
linje.
that bad, it's not an easy double.
409.
Va?
409.
So Jenny is trying to roll behind the corner guard.
Bra fart.
It's quite important to get there because otherwise Rilea can roll in behind the guard themselves. And that can even open up for 3 points. When I didn't get a roll, I think that's quite a good option to roll the other side to make the roll more difficult for Gothenburg, because if they make the roll, they might risk to jam it in the back.
And they are not even looking for a roll. Hit and stay is the call. Camilla Schnabel, third player in Team Rilea from Gothenburg.
Bra.
Kämpar.
Wow.
Bra fart.
Wow. Rent. Fint spel.
Bra Carl. Bra.
Well played.
Oh, what leaves the double?
Tycker jag, så kanske vi får med oss stubben.
Okej. Vilken fart? Noll.
And you can get the roll behind the guard as well.
So a double and roll behind the guard. That's the best possible outcome on this shot.
Yeah. I actually think maybe the roll is the most important thing to avoid the blank, but I'm not sure. I think that's what they were going for.
But it's wide open.
Yeah.
And a great chance for Rilea now to get the advantage of this end. Both a hit and stay and hit and roll is a good option for them now.
Yeah, behind the guard, they don't want to roll to the other side.
Samma.
They want to leave the double now.
Wow.
Ingenting.
Aldrig.
It looks wide. Oh, it's really wide. Oh.
He's up.
And there we might have the blank end.
Yeah, and that's not a too bad option for Rilea. I don't think Bella is too happy about it anyway.
Tappen.
20.
We got 4 more stones to play in the 7th end, where Panthera has the lead, playing in the red stones with 4 points to 3. And the most possible outcome of this end is a blanked end. If everybody does what they should.
Yeah, I agree.
Three more stones to go.
Alltså det är gött att få 2. Jag tycker vi drar runt, men jag ville bara dubbelkolla med.
Right, this is surprising. Greta Aurel is going for a deuce in this end. by coming around the corner guard.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Topp 4.
Very aggressive call.
Yeah, no, I actually think it's almost stupid. I can't see why they're doing this, because if you miss it, you have to steal in the next end, and I don't see why risking this.
Almeida Deval, fourth player.
Gärna Karla. Bra fart.
And we got 2 more stones to play after this one stops.
Wow. Till den närmst, till den närmst. Gärna vänta, gärna vänta! Vänta! Känns lång, känns lång.
Hela vägen. Kör. Utsänd någon, kör.
And that's just the second shot.
Fin linje.
Vad klockade du? 98. Jag tyckte den stackade så himla.
Overswept by the sweepers.
Bra satt Almeida.
And according to Andreas Prytz, wrong call from the beginning.
Det är väl typ lite
Alltså grejen är att om en helium
Yeah, it should be interesting to
de inte får en dubbel.
Ja, exakt.
listen to how they
Sant. Ja.
discuss this, because this is quite a normal situation, so they should be
Om den, ja där precis, där är jättebra. Jag tänker, jag vågar inte slå
it's not the
ifall
first
vi
time
ska
they've been in
direkt
that situation,
Vi ligger i skottet, så om vi drar till den dit så tvingar vi dem till ett som vi vill.
so I'm surprised.
Jag skulle ha den exakt liksom.
That-
10 tekniskt. Jag tycker 10 är jättebra.
No one was
10.
arguing about it, so I think it's
Men det måste i alla fall vara en hel 8.
they have decided to play it that way.
Vart är den?
Start 4.
10 bra.
Wow då.
Probably they will be forced to score the single point.
Har en rygg. Ha rygg, men helst inte dit. Bara stanna.
It's a bit heavy.
Okej. Bara, går det stanna den helt?
Nej.
Får inte vara bak 12. Får inte vara bak 12.
No, it's well played. I don't think she has the force to play that double. She has to draw for a single point.
10 det.
And in the seventh end, Therese Westman was under a big pressure from the Russian team. Had to draw the button to don't lose 2 points, but she did, so
10.
stays in the game. 5-5, but without the hammer.
You're talking about the other semifinal,
Yeah.
sheet 2.
Sorry for the confusion.
Samma. Wow. Bara
Russians.
Almeida Deval, last stone, and 7
10.
for 1 point. And tied the game
10.
4-4.
Kolla upp 10. Har inte rygg.
And she makes
Heavy,
it.
but she makes it.
1.
Tied game, 4 points to each team after 7 ends. And Panthera, playing the Red Stones, has the hammer.
Ja, nu jävlar tjejer.
When we are going to decide who will play the final at 1 o'clock.
Yeah, and it's a very entertainment semi-final.
Rilea has stolen 1 point in the third end, so it's not impossible. They did beat this team last year in the semifinals. But on the other hand, Sweden Panthera won in the round-robin game a few days ago. 7 points to 5 over Sweden Rilea. Greta Aurel getting ready in the hack to put up a center guard. And they need to play 100% in this end to steal that point.
Yeah, probably.
Panthera can play pretty easy game, knowing that Isabella Vrano
Bra, nära.
is pretty safe on
Slut!
having a draw for
Nära är bra.
as a last rock advantage.
Falla nu. Nya farten. Hake.
Hake.
Nära. Till det.
Den är nära, den
Till
är nära, den är nära. Wow, wow, wow.
Oh, it's in the house. Oh,
Bra koll.
no.
Bra koll.
Close call.
Bra Jetta, bra koll.
On the center line.
Topp 4.
Isabella just want this in the house, on the top of the forefoot.
Yeah, there are some different strategies on how to handle
Ja, bra linje.
these situations, of course, and
Okej.
Vänster på den. Bak 4.
at least most teams, they really discuss on
Johanna!
what is the best way for them to be able to win as many of these situations as possible.
Snyggt.
And Panthera has a good weapon with funny,
En till.
fantastic lead stones.
Den.
So they put at least the first one there, but I'm quite convinced that they will. The peel weights will appear when they're allowed to play them.
Minus.
Minus.
Guard.
Lägg den gadda. Det är bra. Lägg den gadda.
Lägg en guard.
So they,
Eller? Dock rätt långt. Håll.
Ligger gadd.
Vi kör. Vi kör.
Kör, ligger bra. Kör. Jobba, jobba. Byt gärna. Och försiktigt.
Bara fart, bara fart. Åh jävlar inte håll med de här.
okay, that was an interesting
Ja men de trodde att det var...
way.
Ja, vi trodde det var kortare.
The goal was to freeze it,
Jag
and
trodde också att det var
Lite,
svinkort.
ja.
Ja,
Den-
hård miss, Cammy.
they thought it was not weight enough, so they changed to a guard. But then, in
It
the
was
end,
long enough.
it was even
Ja.
too long.
Det blir bra. Samma fart.
And why doesn't Panthera just not clear the guard right now?
They're not allowed to play to clear
Oh,
the
yeah,
guard,
you're
but
right.
to the free guard zone.
Hårdare förra. Genom.
Next stone they are allowed to through the hits.
Genom.
But this looks really wide.
Wide and hard.
I I think they were
Japp!
damage control now. That was the first really big mistake from Funny side, and that can be quite costly.
And what would the call be now for Greta Aurel and Team Rilea?
Ska vi lägga upp en till?
I think they should guard it and try to work to get the shot rock later in the end. It's too early now. Even if Sundbyberg's stone is shot rock, I don't think they are too happy about this situation.
Jag ser inte jättemycket. Till i vänsterhänt, hon ser ingenting.
Jag ser inte så mycket i och med vänsterhänt.
I think this was
Alltså, jag ser
ideal
inte
for
jättemycket.
Rilea.
Eller nej.
Can be tricky.
A guard must be the call.
Yeah.
But
Spela garden då. Ja.
Alltså vi kan köra garden en sten till och sen kan vi gå ner.
Yeah, they're talking about make it one more time. Wouldn't mind 3 or 4 more times if they are allowed to. If they go down and work on it too early, I'm totally convinced that Panthera will get rid of it. Now, if they're going to work the big hits,
Bra fart. Kaminer. Måste curla
they have to
vänster.
consider the risk of
Oj,
Mellan.
mellan.
Oj, nu
destroying their own
Minus. Ja, jag tror att den skar.
shot rock position.
this stone picked up something.
Den skar. Bara över, bara över, bara över. Bara över. Kom igen tjejer. Bara
Get it
över.
over.
Ah.
Overcurls a bit,
Fin,
but
den skar.
So it picked. This was the second time. Yeah. Stone had
Ta
picked.
bort den.
it's doing its job anyway, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah! Whoa! Yep! Börjarna. Håll rent. Ja.
This is an interesting
Lite längre bara.
setup on this end. I actually think Rilea is quite happy about this setup.
Nära. Gärna
They
Karla.
see they have really have the chance to make the steal, and it's really tough for Panthera to
Sackar.
Tackar. Vänta.
Mellan.
finish the game off early in the end.
Mellan. Ja. Ja. Ja, 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 ja.
Kom
Upp
igen
på linan,
tjejer.
upp på linan, upp på linan, upp på linan.
Well played.
Bra så. Ja, ledsen, tryckte ut den, ni släpper.
Ja. Spela upp det här ordentligt, Jana.
Joanna Höglund clear some guards. At least one
Whoa.
will go. This is wide.
Yeah.
A big miss from Joanna Höglund.
And now they have to change the strategy and try to guard this one in the house instead.
And at the same time, Team Rilea needs to get down to the forefoot now and tap back the yellow stone to be shot rock.
Vilken fart. Bak 12. Bak 12.
Camilla Schnabel
90.
playing a back 12 weight.
Ja.
I would say it's a small advantage for Rilea at this moment.
But still, everybody has to do their shots.
Yeah, it's quite a 50-50 pick of this game now. But before the end started, I would have bet my money on Panthera.
Wow!
Hack.
Wow!
Hack.
No, I'm
Wide
not
and
convinced.
heavy.
Kom igen då, kom igen. Kalla. Kalla, kalla, kalla.
Okej så.
We got a new shot rock.
Bra Cammy.
Let's
Det var
see
bra
the view
satsat
from the
då.
top of the house now. There we go.
Yeah, Rilea is top row.
Top rock. Shot rock.
Sorry, shot rock. It was.
And
I'm sorry.
Panthera has to clear the guards.
Yeah, I think that's a call. With the perfect hit, you can even get one of them going down to the two on the button.
Kom igen, ut med gul!
There we go. Nice played from Jenny Bolin.
Yeah,
Bra där.
Still a yellow counter, but that won't have anything to do with it when this end sums up.
probably not. It can be a small.
Disturbance for
Yeah,
Panthera. Yeah.
if Rilea hides and don't cover stone full, it can be take the takeout shot away for Panthera. Still quite open, and of course every stone is really important.
Minus! Gärna Karla!
Bra fart.
Måste Karla! Helt upp!
Bak 4. Bak 4.
Wide and long, it's not a good combo.
Ja!
But of course they
Och nu där.
often come together.
Jobba.
Bra fart!
We got 5 more stones to play in this game. 3 red ones and 2 yellow.
Ta den här.
Okej.
Spela 20.
And on sheet 2, Russia has won. Defeated Sweden and at Norberg Consulting with 1 point.
At close game. Russian performed really well. I think Annette's daughter, Therese, is an upcoming team. And we will soon see them in some big finals. Yeah, gets the rule there, but now is the chance for Rilea. If they make this freeze perfect, that can be the game.
4 more stones to play. Almeida de Val, first one out of the 4th players in this game.
This is the key shot. Panthera left this opportunity on purpose. They had to choose between doing that or take the guards away and give them the opportunity to play up another guard.
Bra fart! Lite plus! Gärna Karla, vänta! Måste ligga framför! Bak 4, 10. Aldrig! Bak 4.
Quite a lot of room to the guard.
Looks heavy. Yeah, this one is through the house.
I think that was probably the game. I think that was the key shot. I don't think Panthera will miss this. Okay, of course they have the run back opportunity still to go.
Alltså jag tycker ta 4.
Ja, där, okej. Ja. Jo, den
Ja, men
Drop on the forefoot and there will be nothing left for Rilea. 3 more shots to play. Isabella Vrano is heading down to the hack. Wants to make the perfect draw.
Okej, om vi har bra linjer så kan vi sopa ner den. Om vi inte har bra linjer så är det en guard. Men jag tycker vi kör på guard-marginalen då.
Guard is the first call.
Om vi kör på det.
Jätteviktigt med linjer och grejer. Snacka mycket nu tjejer.
Ja.
Keep the communication going. Small drift.
Nära. Helt Karla. Helt Karla.
12, 12.
Karla.
Bara Karla. Fanny om någonting. Bara
Karla.
Karla helst. Mycket
Hard.
Vänta med den, vänta långt. Ingenting, känns
Nästan
långt.
8, 4.
Ingenting.
Okej, bara stanna helt. Behövs inte dras.
I think it looks
Inte dra
quite
snabbt.
good.
Nej, jag kör bara 10, 4.
Kör lite, japp.
Nej.
Well played.
Not ideal, but I think quite good enough. They have the run back.
A double takeout is not an option in this case, huh?
I don't think it's good enough to win the game. Then they have to hope that Isabella will make a major mistake.
Alltså det är ju antingen frysen.
Yeah, they might be able to freeze it counterclockwise.
Jag gillar frysen bättre.
Jag med, men frågan är om vi kan komma dit. Hon ser ju ingenting. Hon ser typ här ut. Och vi måste in alltså vi måste in skott i sådana fall.
Ja.
So it's
Det gör
that.
inget att trycka bak den lite heller.
Nej.
It should be there. I don't know. I haven't played so many on this
Nej, men vi
spot.
ligga bättre än den, men det gör vi ju.
Vi måste upp chatt.
So it's a run back or it's the freeze. And if you play the freeze, you have to come to the inside.
Ja. Ja, precis. Jag vet inte om det finns.
Raka skjutsen nu också.
Eller dubben. Dubben är ju möjlig. Men
Jo, men
i sådana
dubbel
fall
har
så gör
vi
vi dem i
draget
draget
igen.
Frågan är var vi hamnar alltså. Vi träffar där. Ja, vi måste ju spela ganska hårt. Vi lär ju rulla hit i alla fall.
Det tror jag också.
Skulle haft en coach.
Ja. Var är han?
Niklas, hjälp oss!
I need a coach. I can always look at it
Jag
again.
vet inte, jag tror inte på Dugan för även om vi sätter den så ger den inte så mycket.
I agree with Camilla. I don't think the double is an option actually.
Det skulle kunna gå.
Tror du det?
Jag tror att den är lättare än den.
2 more stones to play in
Ja,
the
jag tycker
8th
det är
end.
ganska stor risk
It's
att
a
man
tight
får
game.
vägen.
Ja, det är för
And Panthera with the red stones has the last stone advantage.
Might be able. I think they're talking about playing the freeze on the clockwise rotation.
Ja, precis.
Borde gå. Fast i och för sig, kanske vi lägger oss här. Ja, jag vet inte.
It's a tough one. It will not be an easy call for Almeida.
Inte skjutsarna.
No matter what they choose,
Alltså jag tror mer på
will
den.
not be an easy shot.
Det spelar ingen roll.
Yeah, the double is the easy shot, but then I think they
Alltså, jag har
don't
ingen aning.
really trying to win.
Ja, vi testar.
Eller,
Då
i
får vi
och för
spela
sig.
bakfyra. Alltså, jag vet inte.
So it's some kind of a tap.
Där, då
Ja.
kommer vi in ordentligt.
Ja.
Kommer vi in där så kanske vi bara kommer in halvdant.
I think it might be there. It's
Hur är det med där borta?
Spelar jag
if they go
precis.
close to the guard, it's
Ja, ingen
plenty
aning.
of space to find the curl.
Bra
I,
så!
I like the call. Should be there but I think if you're close to the guard, I think it might even curl too much.
We've seen quite a few too heavy stones in this last end from both teams.
Nu kör vi tjejer.
Okay, final shot for Almeida de Val in this semi-final. No matter what, if she miss, then it's game over. And if she makes it, there's another chance for Isabella Vrano to win the game.
Wow!
Plus! Lite plus!
Ja! Ja!
Ja.
Wow!
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 Ja!
Wow!
Quite close.
Wow!
Should be close.
Wow! Ingenting.
Will it be enough? It's close. It's close. Not enough. It wasn't there. It wasn't possible to play that one, but it was a good attempt. We had a real fantastic game here, Andreas. I think all credit to both teams and for giving us this show.
Tack för matchen.
And this means that Panthera will play Russia Demkina in the final at 1 o'clock. But we won't be watching that game because we will be watching the men's final where Norway Oppdalsbanken will take on the winner on sheet 6, where Russia Eremin just right now has the upper hand against Sweden Nermans. And you can follow that on Cup Online and by end update. And we will welcome you back to our Fiji game at 1 o'clock, the men's final in Livechannel Cup 2015.
Don't miss that.
Don't miss that. Okay, thanks and bye for now.
Bye bye.